Hey friends, how are you? It's Mr. Absolutely, Mr. J Lobos, your credit specialist, entrepreneur, financial advice person. And on today's topic, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about business loans, business credit. And I got my friend Walter here, who has extensive financial institution information and advice. So check it out, stay tuned, and I'm gonna help you and show you on how to obtain these loans. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So, like I was saying before, I have my friend here, Walter. Actually, Walter, talk a little bit about yourself. Give some of our viewers a little bit of your feedback. Background information.
So what I do, Justo, I'm basically what's called a business relationship manager. I work from business owners with 1 million in sales up to $10 million in sales. Homeowners. I like to say I provide the gasolina for the homeowners, for the business owners to grow. You know, basically, I give them the credit and the tools for the business to keep the business running and growing over the years. That's what I do, and that's what I specialize in.
That's what's up. Actually, we were just talking a little while ago, and you were telling me something about the 5 C's. And obviously, it's a lot of C's for me. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the 5 C's, which is like, it's information basically, like, I guess in a sense, like a checklist.
One of them is capacity. Capacity, when I say capacity, the ability to repay back the loan. So we're going to analyze your cash flow. Is that business making enough money? Can this business owner repay us back? Okay. So the banks are going to do their due diligence, and they're going to base on these 5 C's. They're going to base if this home business owner is risk worthy. Okay. So one of them is capacity, the cash flow, ability to pay us back. The other one's character, and this is vital. I like to say character is more, it has to do with credit on the personal side and business. Business can't live without personal credit or business credit. It's like it's like oxygens to business. It just can't live without each other. So we're going to review the business credit, we're going to review the personal credit, and see how this person has performed over the years before we extend them any credit. So that's where it comes into character. The other thing we're going to look at is capital. How much is this person personally invested in the business? Has this person
they put some of their assets in.
How much are they willing to risk? To risk. So another C will be collateral. Collateral. Collaterals will be account receivables. In case the business defaults, how are we going to recoup our funds back? Collateral could be real estate. It could be receivables.
I've heard of stuff like merchant receipts or
That's
do you guys go into that or no?
No, that's more non-traditional lending. But yes, I think you're talking about merchant cash advance lenders. So that's more of a non-traditional bank. I work for a traditional bank, but yeah, that's one form where it works kind of like a receivable. These are sales that are already made, and they're collecting up front before they pay the business owner. So that's how they guarantee their payment. It's that's the same thing with a receivable. You issue me an invoice, right? Because you already performed the work. And the bank says, okay, look, they already have money coming in. That's a collateral, something we can go and get in case they default on the loan.
Let me ask you a question, more or less. What are we talking about? Obviously, for the people that are out there that maybe are starting out for the first time, even into getting into business, is there any kind of loans through the traditional lending that's accessible or available to them?
Like starting out, when they're
brand new, fresh. Yeah, I'm starting off. I just went ahead and I just sat down with my accountant. I registered a business. I got my tax ID. I just went and I sat with a person in a financial institution, traditional aspect of it. Are there any kind of loans that are available for these type of people?
So some lenders do have loans that are available immediately if you have that. Again, where it comes back to you, where if you have that established credit score, you have that good credit score. So what we call them in the industry is lollipop loans. Banks will give these $50,000 loans, $100,000 loans on simple basic information like credit. They basically back it up with credit. And maybe have, at least if you have at least 2 years in business, you'll be minimal documentation like 1 year business tax return or, bank statements. So these called lollipop loans. These are starter loans. Just get the person started, give them a little bit of fuel to keep their business growing and start, that second year is typically that year where your business starts to take off. Your first 2 years, usually first year you get a loss. Second year, you start making a little bit of money if your business is successful, and then you start taking off. Usually after 2 years, banks look at you at a better credit risk, and they're more open to lending to you. 2 years, that number you want to look for credit.
So the target number is obviously for years in business is 2. Does that also depend? Like, does the bank account have to be open for 2 years? Because some people too, like I've met a couple of my clients on the personal credit aspect of it, and some people might not have 2 years bank statements, but the business has been registered for 2 years. Is that something that's
and then they're open because banks out there they want to get business owners. Business owners are what drive our economy. Small business owners. So we want to capture as much as possible. So let's say, yes, if you have an account open, because what we look at, even on the big loans, it plays a bigger part. We look at what's relationship pricing, relationship banking. So we want to have your business account. You want to have your business credit card, your merchant account. You want to have your business loan, because when we look at everything, okay, this person is tied in with us. This person, basically, we can give a better pricing because we're getting revenue from all these different areas.
So the more relationship that you created through the bank, the more they know you, the more
they trust. The more we trust you, the more we'll go ahead and fight for you. The more.
I don't know if you guys obviously help out your own clients. I know it's something that relatively we used to do here at Buildworth Strategies, and we used to help people to establish business credit. What type of information could we go ahead and give to our viewers for them to establish, that business credit aspect of it? Because I do know from even personal experience of having this business, it's best to have business credit and have personal credit, because then you have two identities. What would you suggest for somebody watching? What would you encourage for them to do to start building business credit?
First thing first, you have to open an LLC. You have to incorporate and open an LLC. Once you do that, you separate. The business becomes its own entity. Then you go to apply for a EIN number. It's a social security number for the business. It's that number you use to file tax reporting. Next thing is to open a bank account. You go to a bank, open a bank account, and then you want to maybe just establish a dedicated phone number and a business address. I think a lot of these things that you can probably help them out with, and getting registered on Dotted Bradstreet will help, and then applying for maybe a business credit card to separate their business expenses from their personal expenses.
That's what's up. I know I've heard, and I've done this too for myself, for my business. Obviously, Dun & Bradstreet's the biggest holder of all businesses out there, so I think they have like 130 something million businesses registered to them. I think the second one up to play, I think it's Equifax Business, and then we also have Experian Business. But I do know for the most part that Dun & Bradstreet number can be used as substitution to your social when applying for business credit, which in a sense separates yourself from not having to put you as a personal guarantee. Traditional lending, I think it's different, just given the fact that you guys do create personal profiles, and I think you mix. And again, I have some banking experience, and the way that we used to go about it is that we wanted that personal guarantee. So there is obviously building business credit. It's good in a sense, but when it comes to traditional, there is going to be that, I think, that personal guarantee though, right?
Yeah, you're always going to have a personal guarantee for the business loan. I think that's the most common question I get all the time. Am I personally guaranteeing this loan? Yes, you are. Because since the, back in 2001 when the bubble burst in .com, banks have not done, but just strictly based on business. Typically, a traditional bank is always going to require that personal guarantee. Doesn't mean that the credit reporting, let's say, doesn't mean that business loan is going to get reported on your personal credit. They're going to separate those two.
Okay.
They're going to report on the business credit, but they're not going to report on their personal. So you're minimizing the impact. Let's say if you have some slow payments on your business side, you minimize that impact on your personal credit.
That's what's
because
up.
you're separating both.
And what would you say right now, I guess for a business who is already after the 2-year mark, they're really good on paper, they have some sort of established business credit. What are the revenues that they should actually be producing in order for you guys to be able to help them? Or the traditional aspect of lending, big financial institutions, what is it exactly the amount that they're supposed to be reporting? And how much do traditional banks usually lend on average?
It's I can't tell you that number because everybody's scenario is different. So let's say your scenario might be different from the nail salon scenario. So every loan it's gonna be tailored to that specific business owner. What I do tell you is that go speak to your small business owner. Go speak to your small business banker. Sit down with them and share your plans. What do you want to do? Where do you want to? This year, I want to be able to reach 500,000 in revenue, and this is how I want to do it. And plan out with your small business banker how you guys can get there together.
That's what's up. So guys, obviously we've shared a lot of information here. There's obviously a lot more that we could go ahead and talk into. I'm going to continue to pick Walter's brain. Hopefully, bring him on a different session. Maybe with additional questions as well. I'm going to go ahead and leave a couple of information with regarding to either Duns & Bradstreet, building business credit, and even, questions that you might have that obviously are not even answered. So consider subscribing, liking. If you have any comments, put those below, and we'll be obviously attentive to that so that we're able to go ahead and get back to you guys, respond to that. And if you guys ever have any questions, always feel free. We have my man here, Walter, where he has extensive financial institution, business banking, relationship building, all that good stuff. So we have somebody here, obviously, to be able to answer these questions for us. So in case we don't have the answer. So thank you so much for staying tuned. Anything you want to go ahead and add?
Nope.
All right, cool. Well, guys, thank you so much. Again, like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching. Take care.